Now we will talk about competence-based training and assessment. What's competence-based training? Training that's designed to provide the required skills and knowledge for a particular unit of competency or group of competencies. And what's competency-based assessment? Assessment is a checkpoint to determine if the skills and knowledge required by the competency or group of competencies has been achieved by the trainee and can be demonstrated in the work environment to the required standard. What's competency? Competency comprises the specification of knowledge and skill and the application of that knowledge and skill to the standard of performance required in the workplace. Competency covers all aspects of workplace performance. Task skills, performing individual tasks, task management skills, managing a range of different tasks, contingency management skills, responding to contingencies or breakdown, team or role environment skills, dealing with the responsibilities of the workplace, including working with others. Competency-based training and assessment. It's based on application, knowledge, and skills, mastery of knowledge and skills, clear objectives, competencies, and skill sets, learner-focused, self-paced, recognition of prior learning, assessment based on ability to perform the competencies and skill sets. IP rights examiner program, trainee examiner, trainee examiner under direct supervision, and restricted trainee. Unit of competencies. There are also lots of progression points, and such kind of things. For example, 70% from informal learning, such as tasks that challenge the learner, watching others, and participating in the workplace. 20% from mentoring and coaching, mostly from manager or supervisor. 10% from formal courses and reading. The portfolio of evidence. The trainee is responsible for gathering their own evidence for assessment and providing this to their workplace assessor in the form of portfolio of evidence. The trainee is responsible for maintaining or keeping their portfolio of evidence. This is not typically stored with the workplace assessor or by IP Australia's Learning Center. The workplace assessor will summarize the evidence into the trainee skill set assessment package, the document package for recording a summary of the relevant evidence and the final assessment outcome. The CBT assessment process. Training and assessment plan completed. It's for workplace coach and trainee. Workplace learning and assessment activities completed. Trainee. Regular feedback on progress. Workplace coach, trainee. Portfolio of evidence compiled. Trainee. Assessment conducted and outcome documented on skill set. Assessment pack. Workplace coach and workplace assessor. Trainee notified of assessment outcome and final feedback conveyed. Complaints process and appeals process explained. Competency-based training assessment. While training is rigorous and structured, it's learner-centered with options to get RPL or to move ahead more quickly. Trainees have to demonstrate their competence. Assessment is a key element. Next. Competence-based education. What's competence-based education? What does CBA look like in practice? How can we consider CBA in your discipline? Competency-based approach. The competency-based education or approach allows students to advance based on their ability to master a skill or competency at their own pace, regardless of environment. This method is tailored to meet different learning abilities and can lead to more efficient student outcomes. Competency-based education or outcomes-based education. Advancement based on mastery of outcomes rather than seat time or credit hours, or mastery demonstrated through assessments. Competency-based education, changing paradigm, credit hour or content mastery, focus on teaching, focus on learning. Time is constant, learning is variable, time is variable, learning is constant. Greater focus on employer input regarding knowledge, skill, and aptitude needs of future employees. Competency-based education, colleagues already to do some CBA, open and try, open exit hours in CTE in non-credit, credit by exam. Examples of CBE, non-credit, math and writing labs, accounting, medical, front office, high school diploma classes, keyboarding, CTE certificates, nursing, welding, non-credit pathways, healthcare pathway, nursing assistant, medical billing and coding, introduction to medical assistant, general medical office clerk. Competency-based education can more be done. Can CBE be done in census classes? Can more CTE education be CBE? How can we accomplish this? Implementing CBE, identifying outcome competencies is key. All supporting learning objectives must be identified and sequenced within a program and courses. Objectives may be used rather than outcomes, usually require demonstration of more discrete skills or knowledge. Implementing CBE. Identify and reduce or eliminate ineffective structures, practices, and expectations that may have been historically justified but are now impeding the efficiency of student learning. Minimum hours, unit requirements, minimum externship hours requirements, required skills, practice regardless of current competence. Implementing CBE, design classroom and lab experiences with the pre-assessment opportunities based on outcomes or objectives. Determine the appropriate assessments and level of mastery. Pre-assessments may be the same as post-assessment, or two may vary for greater demands on students. Pre-assessments may be integrated into early classroom activities or assignments rather than formalized as separate assessment opportunities. Instruction based on student learning rather than faculty teaching. Establish achievement benchmarks. Establish program exit criteria. They are all about competence-based education. I have now answered these questions. What's competency-based education? What does CBE look like in practice? How can we consider CBE in your discipline? Competence is a way to teach something in his or her way, or to explain something in a greater way. You may also consider about your competence-based education. Every teacher have come across during their lessons such competency-based education. They are all about competence-based approach. And thank you for watching.